Have you ever wondered how a website goes from just being a flat, kind of boring page to something you can actually interact with? The dynamic pages we use every single day. Well, that is the magic of JavaScript. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it all works. To get there, we've got to start with the absolute basics of how a web page is built.
Believe it or not, every website you have ever visited is built on 3 core languages. Let's think of it like we're in English class. First up, you've got HTML. This is the skeleton, the basic structure of the page. It gives you the nouns, the buttons, the text boxes, the images. Then you've got CSS, which is like the adjectives. It describes all those nouns, adding color, changing the font, arranging the layout, basically making everything look good.
But here's the thing. A page with just nouns and adjectives is kind of like a painting. It's nice to look at, for sure, but it doesn't do anything. It's just sitting there. And that's where JavaScript comes in. JavaScript provides the verbs. It is the language of action that lets a web page respond to you, change, and become truly interactive.
So there you have it, the big 3. You've got HTML for the actual content, CSS for the looks, and JavaScript for the interactivity. These 3 things, working together, are the foundation of the entire modern web.
This table really breaks it down perfectly. HTML creates all the raw stuff, CSS makes that stuff look pretty, but look at what JavaScript brings to the party. Actions, updates, and logic. Without that piece, clicking a button on a website would do, well, absolutely nothing at all.
Okay, so let's add that spark of life. Let's see exactly how JavaScript takes a totally static, lifeless button and actually gives it a purpose.
All right, check this out. We have a perfectly nice looking button here. It was built with HTML, it's been styled with CSS. You can admire its lovely color, its cool rounded corners, but go ahead, click it. Come on, try. See, nothing happens. It's basically just a prop on a stage right now.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How do we breathe some life into this thing? How do we make it actually respond when someone clicks on it?
You're not going to believe it, but the answer is this one simple line of JavaScript. We attach this little instruction to the button, and we're literally telling the computer, hey, when this button gets clicked, I want you to make a little pop-up that says hello. It really is that direct.
And that little instruction, that's what we call code. It's not some crazy secret language for geniuses. It's just a recipe, a set of step-by-step instructions that tells a computer exactly what you want it to do.
Now, making pop-ups appear is pretty cool. But for websites to be truly useful, they also need to be able to remember things. I mean, think about an online shopping cart, right? It has to keep track of what you've added. So let's take a look at how JavaScript handles memory.
So, to start, our shopping cart is completely empty. The website's memory for how many items are in our cart is just 0. Simple enough.
But then, you see something you've just gotta have. You find that Add to Cart button and you give it a nice, satisfying click.
And boom, just like that, the number changes. The website has updated its own memory. It now knows there is one item in your cart. It has actually remembered your action.
So how does it do this? What's the trick?
Well, it uses something called a variable. And honestly, the best way to think about a variable is to just picture a little memory box. It's a box with a label on it, somewhere in the computer's memory where we can store a value, like the number of items in our shopping cart.
And the code that makes this happen is incredibly logical. All it says is, okay, computer, go find the memory box labeled cart quantity. Whatever number is inside, take it out, add 1 to it, and then put the new number right back into that same box. That is all it's doing.
All right, so websites can follow instructions and they can remember information. But where things get really intelligent is when they can start making decisions based on simple logic.
Think about a simple game of rock, paper, scissors. The code follows a super clear set of steps. You make a choice, the computer makes a choice. Then the code runs through a simple question, what's called an if statement. It asks, if the computer's choice beats the player's choice, then display the you lose message. It's a really basic but incredibly powerful way of making a decision.
And when you stop and think about it, these simple ideas, giving instructions, storing information in memory boxes, and making if-then decisions, are the fundamental building blocks of almost every interactive feature you use online, powering everything from simple animations to real-time maps.
So, let's look at that Add to Cart button just one last time, now that we know what's going on under the hood. A click kicks off a set of instructions. A variable, our little memory box, keeps the count. The code adds 1 to that variable. And then finally, the page updates itself to show us the new number. See, it isn't magic, it's just a sequence of simple logical steps.
And that's really the whole point here. Once you know these basics, the web starts to look totally different. Every single time you like a post, play a game, or add an item to a cart, you're actually seeing the verbs. You're seeing JavaScript in action, turning a static page into a living, breathing experience. So the next time you're online, try to spot the code at work. See if you can see the verbs in action.